Thank you for joining me today for Rantz. Today we're going to be discussing the subject of money. In America, we pride ourselves on being a capitalistic society where anybody can have a good life. All they need is hard work and a dream. No, they really tell people that. We pride ourselves on being a capitalistic society, but capitalism is not necessarily a good thing. In America, there's a lot of large corporations that make a lot of money, but these same companies fail to pass on some of that wealth to their employees. People are working for minimum wage, which is barely enough to live on in most cases, and then they have to get a second job just to make ends meet. There's nothing wrong with working hard for what you want, but I feel a lot of the companies are taking advantage of employees by paying people wages that are way less than what they actually deserve. Our government then turns around and gives these same companies tax breaks and advantages, which help them to take advantage of people even further. One of the other problems in our culture is that we are a lending-based society. A lot of people depend on loans and things of that nature to get through school, to buy a car, to buy products, and they end up being a servant to whoever they borrow it from. That's because in America we charge a lot of interest. The Bible would call that usury, and according to Scripture it's not supposed to be something that we practice. Yet we do because we're a fallen society. Essentially what businesses do is allow people to borrow large sums of money, which they know they're incapable of paying back, which makes them servant to that company. Credit card companies do it, auto lenders do it, even our government. This is one of the reasons why America is so largely in debt right now, because we borrowed money that we couldn't afford to pay back. One of the biggest problems in America is that we assume when we see people with certain products, then that means that they have more money or they have a better life value, when in actuality that person is probably swimming in debt. Essentially what a lot of people do is chase after things they don't really need in order to impress a bunch of people they don't really like. Because in America, a lot of times your self-worth and your self-value is tied to what you have. This is very unfortunate. We also discriminate against people who don't have what we think they should have. If people don't have the basic necessities, we automatically assume they're poor, and we treat them differently according to what we see with our eyes. A person's true worth is determined by what's inside of their heart, not what's inside of their wallet or purse. The Bible tells a story about the Prodigal Son, and a lot of people hear this story and they see that the son got his inheritance and he wasted on riotous living. What I notice about the story is the prodigal father, who prepared a way for his sons to have a good life before they were able to understand the legacy that he actually left behind. In America, we're so consumed with getting the next big thing, the next big product, that we don't worry about leaving a legacy for our children. Then we have children who grow up wanting things that should have already been provided for them, and then they get into debt chasing after things to make themselves feel more worthy, because in America, it's all about what you have, not who you are. There's nothing wrong with doing business and making a profit off of what you sell, but there is a major problem when you put a person in bondage because you mark up something so much that they're unable to pay it back. Sometimes people need to use wisdom in their buying decisions. Sometimes businesses just need to step up and say, I'm not going to charge people large amounts over what I actually paid for the product, and I'm not going to mark it up in order to make a profit. Also, employers need to step up and say, I'm going to pay fair wages to people when they deserve it. Right now, if you go into many stores in America, you already see Christmas decorations going up. You see sales already promoting Black Friday, Christmas sales, and things of that nature in order to get your hard-earned money into their pockets. But I wonder, how many of us would be willing to do the Christ-like thing and give up that big screen TV this holiday season to go help our fellow man? Are you willing to give that single mother pushing a stroller down your street a ride to work? Are you willing to carry a meal over to someone who you know may be hungry? One of the greatest things we can do with our money is help other people. But it's one of the last things we think about doing when we get paid. Just think about it. When you get your paycheck, what is the first thing you think about? For most people, it's not helping your neighbor. It's the next thing you can buy. So I asked this holiday season, instead of making a large list of things to give to your little heathens, that maybe they should sacrifice some of their gifts this year and give them to a kid that's in need. Although America is a capitalistic society, we don't always have to capitalize on each other. Maybe this season is a good time to stop capitalizing on each other and to start lifting each other up to a higher level. Until next time.